What's happening, guys? It's your girl Minna. Welcome back to my channel. You already know what it is. Big up to everybody locked in on this relatively quiet, cold, rainy Thursday. I know it's summer, it's July here in the UK, guys, and it's not hot. It's not hot, but big up to everyone locked in. I hope you are having or have had a wonderful day. Let me know what you've been up to today before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty stuff. We have a lot to talk about because it seems like a lot of stuff has developed for Manchester United over the last, I would say, 12 or I'd say the last 18 hours or so. A lot has developed in Manchester United's transfer window, and it's mainly altered by other clubs. Yes, other clubs, West Ham, etc., etc. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I can't lie. We got a lot to talk about. I think today's stream is going to be predominantly focused on the fullback situation, the right side and the left side, because there's news that came out yesterday regarding the players that Manchester United are looking at for the left side of the defense. And then today there's been some news about who Manchester United are looking at for the right-sided side of the defense. So we got a little bit to talk about. We got some, I was saying, information regarding Erik ten Hag's tenure not being under threat. There is no threat for Erik ten Hag this season from Ineos to win the Premier League or, you know, do some huge achievement. There is no pressure. No pressure, Erik ten Hag. We want to talk about that. We're going to talk about some potential outgoings because there's some news that Hannibal Mejbri might be departing Manchester United on a loan. So we're going to talk about that. But listen, guys, be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you've just come through. We've got a lot of content coming over the next couple of days or so. If you want to stay connected with me, to see what I'm up to see other content that I post, because I post a bit, guys. I post on TikTok, I post on Instagram. Right here is my @ on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, you name it. That is my @ Go and follow me on all platforms to see all the other stuff that I get up to when I'm not sitting here in the HQ. You know what it is. Like I said, be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. If you want to support the channel, you can by hitting the like button, but you can support the channel in alternative ways by sending in super chats with your thoughts, with your comments, or any questions that you have that supports the channel. And if you want to support the channel in alternative ways, you can by joining the Minions gang. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content. We got some emojis on the way. We got new emojis coming, inshallah, God willing, this weekend. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. But as always, guys, let's get straight into it. And before we start with the transfer news, let's start with the non-transfer news currently. Let's start with the non-transfer news regarding Erik ten Hag's tenure at Manchester United over the next couple years or the next 2 seasons. Jamie Jackson reported yesterday evening that Erik ten Hag is not under pressure to guide Manchester United to a top 4 finish next season. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is prioritizing considerable progression of the team as the man in charge of football operations at Manchester United aims to establish sustained excellence. While Ten Hag's ambition is to lead United to as high of a position as possible, Ratcliffe's football department, led by Ineos, want the same. There is a recognition that there are no guarantees next season as the club rebuilds, and that establishing a firm foundation will allow ongoing success. Let me know, guys, your thoughts about this. Essentially, what is being said is that I think the goal is anything better than a top 7, top 8 finish. I think obviously this season it was pretty evident that it was embarrassing the way that Manchester United finished the season, not just the way that they finished the season, but also the run that they had in the Champions League. That was not that for me. That is not the standards of Manchester United. And it seems like Ineos does feel the same, but they know that it's impossible to go from being a 7th place finish to a 2nd place finish, especially when you have teams like Manchester City, who, by the way, it's just come out like literally before I went live that they're about to make a move for Dani Olmo, but his preference is going to Barcelona. So teams like Manchester City, who have a foundation of players that have a history of winning consistently, and they've got an unhinged manager like Pep Guardiola, and then you've got Arsenal that have been building their foundations for a number of years under Arteta and are getting close, but they just haven't won the title yet, but they're getting closer and closer every season. So Manchester United have a gap to close between Manchester United and the top 2 teams, and I would even say between Man United and, like, say, Aston Villa, for example, with the season that they had last year. There is a gap to close. Some people might feel like it's a big gap. Some people might not feel like it's that big of a gap. But as far as Erik ten Hag is being reassured right now that there is no threat to his job next season if Manchester United do not finish in the top 4. They do not. It seems like Ineos might not class top 4 as the end all or be all. However, I think, and we'll kind of get to it later on into the transfer window when the season started, and we're going to do our predictions and all of that kind of stuff. I think Man United have to finish in top 4. I genuinely think that. And some people might not agree with me. I've had this debate with a lot of people that it's difficult to go from being 7th or 8th to finish in the top 4. But bear in mind, the season before that, Manchester United finished in top 4. So it's not like it's if anything, it was a big drop off from the season before. Man United have proven under Erik ten Hag that they can get to that top 4 space. And top 4, by the way, should never be the benchmark for success. I don't think so. But we have to be realistic and understand that in the last decade, Manchester United's limit has been fighting for top 4. That's what it's been, unfortunately. And in order to win the title, you have to get into top 4 first. So I feel like Manchester United need to get into top 4. But it seems like Ineos might not really share that sentiment. Big up to Jean is here, the newest member in the community. Welcome to the community. I hope you enjoy your badges, your emojis, the custom member content, and getting to be part of the Minions gang. It's a cool gang to be part of. So big up to Jean. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe, guys, if you've just come through. Listen, we've got a bit to talk about. And like I said, I think predominantly this stream will be centered around, it's going to be centered around the fullback discussion. That's what it's going to be centered around. It's going to be centered around the fullback discussion because we've spoken about it a few times here on stream. We've spoken about Nazir Mazraoui, Bayern Munich player on the chopping block right now on the transfer market from his team. He's there for the taking, and it seems it doesn't seem. News states from David Ornstein, the David Ornstein bomb, as some people like to call it, reported 5 hours ago that West Ham United are closing in on a deal to sign Nazir Mazraoui from Bayern Munich. Now, if you don't remember, West Ham were also in for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and the reason why I'm mentioning that is because we're going to talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka and this Dumfries potential swap. Reportedly, Aaron Wan-Bissaka was not interested in going to a London club. Now, maybe it's because his loyalty to Crystal Palace is that deep. I don't know, but he is not interested in going to a London-based club, and he doesn't want to negotiate with Crystal Palace, which is with West Ham, which is why they've made a move for Nazir Mazraoui. Now, Manchester United still retain interest in the player, but West Ham currently are ahead. Now, any deal for Manchester United, and this is where, like I said, Wan-Bissaka comes in, any deal for Manchester United bringing in a fullback or a right back in particular means that Aaron Wan-Bissaka must depart. It's as simple as that. They have to get Wan-Bissaka out the door in order to bring in a new right back. And that's where the conversation of Dumfries comes in. That's where the conversation of Dumfries comes in. But it looks like West Ham are set to sign Nazir Mazraoui for a price tag, guys, £12 million plus add-ons. Listen to this, guys. Listen to this. A total, by the way, and this is the thing I hate about the transfer window, because some people report stuff in euros, some people report it in GBP. I think because I'm British, and a lot of us, obviously, and Manchester United is an English club, we should report it in pounds. In euros, the value is 15.5 million euros plus 4 million in add-ons. So that is 19.5 million for a package in euros for Nazir Mazraoui. In pounds, guys, I kid you not, I think that's like 14 million pounds. Just an approximation, by the way, off the top of my head. I think that is 14. Let me actually go to do euro to GBP. Let's see what the conversion rate. So yeah, the pound is really bad, by the way. The pound is very, very bad. So 19. Okay, so it's about 16 million pounds. It's a package of 16 million pounds, but his initial fee of 15 million is literally 13 million pounds. The initial fee, and I guess the add-ons will include stuff that might not be achievable. It might be achievable. We don't know. But the fee that they are paying for him is 13 million pounds. That is a flipping bargain for Nazir Mazraoui. For someone experienced at that level, both at international and club level, for someone who can play right back and left back, that is a bargain. Now, obviously, Bayern Munich are trying to move him on. And if I'm not wrong, I think he's got 2 years left on his contract. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think he's got 2 years on his contract. Let me double check how many years he's got left on his contract right now. And the funny thing is, this is why it's funny. You should never listen to valuations of players, because they've online. Okay, yeah, he's got 2 years left on his contract, and they're selling him for £13 million. That is a pretty decent deal. That is a pretty decent deal. Now, like I said, there are a lot of other fullbacks available, but I think Manchester United don't want to break the bank for a fullback. I don't think they want to break the bank. I think they look at all the options available right now, and you've got, Hanko, you've got what's his name, Ferdi Kadioglu. They've got 30 million price tags. I don't think Man United are looking to pay that big price tag. But listen, let's get into it, because we're going to do a tier ranking, by the way. We're going to do a tier ranking of all the fullbacks that we're linked to currently, both left back and right back. We're going to do that. So make sure you lot stick around for the stream so you lot can get involved with that. But this is the big news today. This is the big news today, coming straight from David Ornstein, that Manchester United, any deal for Man United, to sign Mazraoui would require Aaron Wan-Bissaka to depart. The right back has turned down West Ham and favours a move to Inter Milan this summer or as a free agent next summer. He's available on a free, so obviously United need to sell him. Now, guys, I don't know what it is. Yeah, but it is not a summer transfer window if Manchester United is not linked to Rabiot and they're not linked to Denzel Dumfries. It's not. You cannot tell me it's a summer transfer window if these two names don't pop up. Because today, or yesterday, I was watching content on YouTube, right? And I just typed in Man United, Denzel Dumfries, whatever. I wanted to see what people were saying about the situation. I went back to videos from 2 years ago. 2 years ago, there was people making videos about a potential swap deal for Denzel Dumfries and someone else. Now, it's interesting to me because the reason why I probably favoured a move for Nazir Mazraoui is probably because of A, the price tag, and B, he can play across both sides. Now, if Manchester United get Denzel Dumfries, what's the likelihood that he's going to be the bench option? What is the likelihood that he's going to be the bench option? Because I thought Diogo Dalot was the right back starter. Can Denzel Dumfries play left back? No, he can't. Manchester United aren't going to realistically sign a left back and a right back. So the idea of someone that can play across both sides is a good idea. However, I think, like I said, when I spoke about why probably Manchester United are looking to move on Wan-Bissaka and bring in a new fullback, this notion of fullbacks that can do more than defending is what Manchester United are looking at. Is the sound just me? Is there something wrong with my sound? Is there something wrong with my sound? Let me know. It doesn't look like it. According to the software I'm on, I can see all green. You lot got issues with the audio, so it is. You lot do have an issue. Damn. Okay, I hear it. I hear it. It's bugging. The mic is bugging. I gotta try to fix it, guys. I might have to unplug my mic and then replug it back in. All right, testing. 1, 2, testing. Okay, I think we're all right now. Are we all right? Are we good, guys? I gotta keep talking. Yeah, we're good now. Okay, we're good. I don't know, man. There's some gremlins in my microphone. Najib is saying your sound is breaking. Is my sound breaking again? Nah, I can hear it. It's still bugging. What is good? I think it might be the kids that I was cursing yesterday, I think it might have been the kids that I was cursing yesterday. Because when I'm listening to it back, I think I I think we're back. I think we're back. I don't know what's going on. All right, I think I fixed it. I think I fixed my audio problems. I'm so sorry, guys. That was so random. That just came. That was so random. What kids? There's basically some kids that play outside of my window and they just make bare noise. But today they're not making any noise. Thank God it's raining. They're not making any noise because they ain't playing outside. They ain't playing outside. But listen, let's get back to Denzel Dumfries and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because I was doing some research, right? I was doing some research because I was quite curious about the differences between Denzel Dumfries and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because why would Manchester United get rid of Ten Hag must be arrested? I don't think Naz is a fan of Denzel Dumfries. By the way, guys, like I said, I don't know what it is, but Manchester United are just always linked to the same players every window. Look at this comparison, guys. Let's just look at this quick comparison between the two of them. And by the way, you lot are probably going to say, why is Mina looking at just defensive records? You want a defender to defend. You want a defender to defend. The purple, yeah, is Denzel Dumfries. This is this season that just passed. The green, obviously, is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, again, the metrics of this, if we were to compare their offensive abilities, obviously there'll be a big difference. Look at that. If we compare their offensive abilities, but if we look at their full profile, look how different they are as fullbacks. Aaron Wan-Bissaka kind of takes the lead with all defensive stuff, ground duels, ball regains, defensive power, etc., etc. He clears Dumfries, and then Dumfries is more of an attacking fullback. What the hell? I need to turn off these ads on the side of my screen. But Denzel Dumfries is more of an attacking fullback, and that makes me think maybe that's why Manchester United are linked to him. Now, if you lot remember, or if you don't know, yesterday it was reported that Manchester United were also in the hunt for left backs. And I swear to you, I'm not joking, guys. When I saw the news yesterday, I thought it possibly couldn't get any worse. When I saw the news that Manchester United were looking at Marcus Alonso as a left back because he's available on a free, I thought yesterday I thought my day couldn't get any worse. But Manchester United are stepping up the recruitment or the search for a left back as well as a right back. Among Manchester United's potential left back targets is A, this guy right here, David Hanko at Feyenoord. B, Tyreek Mitchell at Crystal Palace. Fun fact, guys, I used to work for his football agent. Tyreek Mitchell's agent, he's actually from my ends. I used to work for him when I was a football coach, and he was a football coach too. Shout out to him. But if anything does pop up, like any serious news about Tyreek Mitchell, serious links, I'm going to have to call him and be like, can I get an exclusive? But Tyreek Mitchell as an alternative left-back option. And last, but like I said, not least, Marcus Alonso. I'm not joking. I will take Tyrell Malacia, who probably is never going to play again for Manchester United. I will take Tyrell Malacia as a starting left-back. Right now, the guy who has not played for a whole year and has literally had multiple knee surgeries, I will take him as an option over Marcus Alonso. I am so sorry, but that is absolutely where we have to draw the line. That is where we have to draw the line. Let me see. Sports Prediction says, hey, Mina, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you are having a great day too. Don't want to go off topic, but I'm flattered. Thank you very, very much. Guys, come on, man. Let's keep the super chats football related, that kind of stuff. Let's keep it football related. Give me Dallo left back and Aaron Wan-Bissaka at this point. Mark says no to Tyrone Mitchell. Come on, bro. His name's Tyreek, not Tyrone, but no to Tyreek Mitchell and a no to Marcus Alonso. Najib says, Mina, I don't like this Dumfries, guys. Don't worry, guys. We're going to rank them. We are going to do a ranking of all the left backs and the right backs that Manchester United are linked to. But this is where my question lies with everybody else. If I can find the picture. Where does that leave Luke Shaw? Where does that leave Luke Shaw? Because obviously I think Manchester United are aware of whatever is happening with him right now. I mean, he went from not playing at all for Manchester United since February to starting in a flipping Euros final. The guy didn't play a game until, when was it? The round of 16, I think it was, or the quarterfinals is when he made his first appearance in the Euros. He was the only player, by the way, in the Euros final on both teams, and I think in a long time in Euro history, that didn't start any game in the tournament but started the final. That's not something that happens regularly. And of course, the balance that he adds to England is different. But where does that leave a player like Luke Shaw? Because I think Tyrell Malacia is going to have a difficult season this year. I do not anticipate him coming back into the first team anytime soon. I do not anticipate Tyrell Malacia coming into the first team anytime soon. Now, I think about the other left backs that Manchester United are linked to. Tyreek Mitchell. When I think about him, I just think about him and Anthony beefing every time Manchester United were playing Crystal Palace, if you guys remember. Now, I think Tyreek Mitchell is a good player. Is he the attacking kind of fullback that Manchester United are looking for? No, I don't think he is. But I think he does. Similar with Bissaka, he does the defensive side of stuff very, very well. Like 100%, he does the defensive side very well. He can read the game very well. Obviously, he's from ends, so you know I kind of have to back him. But TI10 said it here in the chat. This is who I've been asking for all season, like all summer transfer. Sorry, I've been saying Manchester United should go for Ait-Nouri. And I know a lot of people actually share that sentiment. I know Liverpool were interested in him. I don't know if Wolves are going to sell him. Even you look at all the other fullbacks that Manchester United have been linked to. I think Ferdi Kadioglu, like I mentioned, Hanko, for example, mentioned here in the chat. Hanko is perfect for United, can play centre-back and left-back. Do you think that should be the profile Manchester United are looking for if there's a maybe future for Luke Shaw to play at centre-back? Because if you've got Luke Shaw that can play centre-back and play left-back, shouldn't you go for a left-back that is just purely, you know, the type of left-back that you're looking for? That is my thought process. That is my thought process. And it's evident that, you know, Man United want to upgrade the full-back position. I think the fullback position actually might be one of the few positions at Manchester United right now where there's no guaranteed starter, because Man United are looking at left backs and right backs. That means they're trying to switch it up. And some of the players that they've linked to, like I said, Nazir Mazraoui, whether or not he goes to West Ham or not, that is a player that can play across both sides. Imagine we imagine we start the season with like Anthony at left back because Luke Shaw's not fit and nor is Tyrell Malacia. At that point, put Sam Murray there. He had a good game against Rangers. Put Harry Amas there at that point, because there's no way, like I said, Manchester United can go into the first game of the season playing with players out of position. That is my thought process. Big up to Keegan with the super chat. I appreciate the super chat. Says keeping Wan-Bissaka means we're weaker when attacking. Getting an attacking fullback means we are vulnerable defensively. We need a good balance going both ways. That is a good point. That is a good point. And I can't lie. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I've watched a heap of games of Denzel Dumfries. I'm not gonna sit here and say I've watched a lot of Denzel Dumfries, but I have watched him a lot for the Netherlands. And because Netherlands play with a back three, I think defensively he's not caught out as much. Now, is Manchester United going down a route where they might play back three? Could you see Manchester United doing that and having fullbacks? I'm not too sure. I honestly, I don't see that happening because Manchester United don't even have the centre backs to play a back three right now. But Dumfries for the Netherlands, I think he's been okay, especially like during the Euros. He's been decent. He's been decent. You know, he can get forward, he can get back, he can defend. However, for me, it's just the fact that Man United have been linked to it's like Rabiot all over again, guys. It's like Rabiot all over again, where Manchester United have been linked to Denzel Dumfries every flipping transfer window. Like, without a fail, his name pops up when Manchester United are being linked to fullbacks. With literally every time, without a fail, his name pops up. Now, one thing I will say is Marcus Alonso cannot be anywhere near Manchester United. I cannot. And I don't think Man United will be that desperate to go for him just because he's available for free. That's not, like, that is poor. I would actually judge Ineos on that. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I would actually judge Ineos on that as well, because you look at all the other left backs that Man United have been linked to, or even the left backs that are just available on the market. You look at Ait Nouri, you look at you look at people like Hanko, Ferdi Kadioglu, etc. And you're telling me you could potentially walk away with Marcus Alonso? Absolutely not. Absolutely. That to me is a joke. That to me is a joke. Let me know, guys, out of those three left backs that I've just named, in Marcus Alonso, Tyreek Mitchell, and Hanko from Feyenoord, who do you think Manchester United are more likely to sign? Who do you think Manchester United will be more likely to sign? Because at this point, I genuinely don't know. I didn't see Manchester United. Personally, I didn't see Manchester United signing a left back. I thought they would sign a player for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because I thought inevitably Aaron Wan-Bissaka will leave. But if Aaron Wan-Bissaka does end up staying, they could end up just signing a left back. They could actually just end up signing a left back. Big up to Rowena, says, first time watching your show. Big up Minna, welcome to the community. Big up. Dumfries is older than Wan-Bissaka. They spelled Dumfries as literally dumb. Dumfries is older than Wan-Bissaka and he does okay for the Netherlands, but can't see him start for United. I genuinely think, and big up for the comment, I appreciate it, thank you very much. I genuinely think that Diogo Dalot deserves to be the starting right back, and I think he might know that. And you lot are probably thinking, Ram, you changed your tune, because if you remember last season, I was criticizing Diogo Dalot a lot. But I think in the manner that he's improved last season, in the way that he's improved last season, and just how good of a fullback he has been, like, he might not start for Portugal, but I think it's Cancelo that starts over him. But he's been a true professional over his course at Manchester United. He went on loan, came back, fought for his place. I think he deserves another shot to be the starting right back, because he had a good season last year. Now, that's not me saying that Man United shouldn't sign another fullback, because we've seen how thin Man United can be running when they have an injury crisis. So United definitely need to sign a fullback. It's just a matter of signing a fullback that's going to be a backup, or is going to challenge for that right-hand side. Personally, I would prefer United to sign a fullback that can play left back and right back. But here's Paul. But thank you, Paul, for dropping this in the chat regarding Marcus Alonso. Reportedly, Marcus Alonso's camp has not received any approach from Man United. There's no contact or nothing advanced for Sergio Reguilon as well. That's another name. That's another name that popped back up. Oh, I thought my sound was glitching. Big up to Joe in the chat. What is my audio glitching again? What is my audio? I don't know what's going on today, guys. I honestly do not know what is going on today, but it randomly starts glitching for absolutely no reason. I'm gonna have to try and fix it after the stream probably. But this is the context for the stream today. I wanted to do this. If I can get rid of these ads. Can I get rid of these ads? I hope I can. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to rank the fullbacks that Manchester United have been linked to. We got a little tier list. And I'm going to need everyone to get involved for us to rank these fullbacks that Manchester United have been linked with. Who are the fullbacks that we have? We have some who are Manchester United players, and then all the rest are players that Manchester United have been linked to in the right back and the left back position. These ads are killing me, bro. What the hell? Should I turn on my ad blocker during the stream? Denzel Dumfries, we got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we got Diogo Dalot, we got Marcus Alonso, we got Nazir Mazraoui, we got Jeremy Frimpong, we got Hanko, we got Tyreek Mitchell, we got Ferdi Kadioglu, we've got Tyrell Malacia, and we've got Luke Shaw. That's the 11 fullbacks, I think it is. Yeah, that's 11 fullbacks that we've got. 4 of them currently Manchester United players. Big up to Red Scare Claire with the super chat saying this is for the Mina mic. To be honest, guys, I've had this mic that I'm using, right? I've had it for about, I shouldn't move it around while I'm on live. I've had it for about 2 years, and I have actually been looking at upgrading it. So I think this is a sign. I actually think this is a sign that I've been looking at new equipment that I want to buy, and one of them was a mic. So now I got to go and get it. Big up to Red Scare Claire with the super chat. I appreciate that. Listen, guys, let's get active, and let me get rid. Actually, I need to get rid of. Let me get rid of these ads, because it's actually stressing me out. is actually stressing me out. Oh shit, but if I turn on my ad blocker, I think it might close the tab. All right, let's go. Oh my days. Okay, it didn't. All right, we can do it. We can do it. Let's go. Let's go. We're locked in, guys. We've got 11 players. Like I said, 4 of them Manchester United players, and the other 7 are players that Manchester United have been linked to over the course of the last couple of weeks in the transfer window. Let's start with Manchester United's players. We've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we've got Diogo Dalot, we've got Tyrell Malacia, and we've got Luke Shaw. And the tier ranking is very, very simple, guys. You know, tier 1 means elite. Tier 4 means ass. Yeah? It means crap. It means we got to get rid. And tier 2 and 3 is either like rotation, depth. You know, good enough to be at the team, but maybe not good enough to start. Now, my issue is, all of United's fullbacks are different anyways. Diogo Dalot is different to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is different to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka is different to Tyrell Malacia. It's very difficult to compare them like for like. So when we do kind of rank them, let's rank them on the best fit for Manchester United. Like, what do you guys feel like Manchester United need right now when it comes to fullbacks, or when it comes to a backline, when it comes to getting forward, when it goes to getting back, etc., etc. What is it that Manchester United need? Do they need someone that's one-dimensional like Wan-Bissaka, who just is a good defender 1v1 but lacks other attributes? Do you want someone like Diogo Dalot, who, I'm not gonna lie, Diogo Dalot is not the best defender 1v1. I think his reading of the game is good. I think his positional awareness is good, but his 1v1 is not that good. It's as simple as that. But going forward, he's amazing. I think he's definitely, let me not say amazing, but he's definitely good enough to be Man United starting right back thus far. Now, he's improved a lot over the course of his time at Man United, and that's what you want. That's kind of what you want. Then you got Luke Shaw, who's been there for 10 years and has been inconsistent in them 10 years. Sometimes you see the best left back in the world in his play, in the way that he's playing, etc. And then you're just seeing inconsistencies. Defensively, sometimes he falls asleep. Technically, on a technical level, I think Luke Shaw is probably Manchester United's most talented player when it comes to technical ability, but injuries lets him down. And last but not least is Tyrell Malacia. It's his 3rd season now at Manchester United. He's missed an entire season because of, I guess, it wasn't really clear why he was out, but I think everyone knew that he had some surgery that didn't go well, and he had to have another surgery that kept him out for an entire season. There's no certainty that he will ever get back to that level that he was at his first year. His first year at Manchester United, I'm not going to lie, I don't think he was a starter, but I think he was good rotation. I remember Liverpool versus Man United, his first start, I remember, for Man United was against Liverpool, and he shut up shop against Mohamed Salah. So he's got that ability, but we don't know whether we're going to see that again. We don't know whether we're going to ever see that again. So that's what we got to rank it. And I'm going to start with Diogo Dalot. And because I've said I think he's a starter. I think the right-hand side belongs to him. And I think that whoever Man United bring in as a right back, if they do bring in a right back, is not going to be there to kind of dispossess him from his position. I think they're going to be there as a rotational player. I think Diogo Dalot, especially because now he's on a new contract, he's there till 2029. I think his contract is till. He's a good option. Next up, I'm going to say Luke Shaw. And you lot might not actually agree with me. I think Luke Shaw is number 2. He'll be tier 2 for me. And tier 2 for me is essentially, he's not a starter, but he's not worth getting rid of. He's got some use. There is some use to Luke Shaw at Manchester United. Now, I think the only thing that is maybe off-putting for like Ineos or someone that is looking at this as, the CEO of Manchester United, they're looking at the salary that he's on. They're looking at, he's been here for 10 years. He's on a big salary and he's not going to be a starter. They don't want to pay people big salaries if they're not starting regularly. And I think that's why Man United apparently missed out on Tosin Adarabioyo. I do think Luke Shaw has some use still for Manchester United. I just think it's his fitness that is going to let him down, or his injury crisis that will let him down every single time. Mel says damaged goods. Damn, that is a good way to sum him up, though. It is a good way to sum him up. My issue with Luke Shaw as well, when he's a starter, is that if there's no competition, he doesn't impress. He just comes into work and does a normal thing, doesn't like a normal shift, and then keeps it moving. Tyrell Malacia for me is a 4. And I know you lot are probably thinking, damn, that's harsh. But I just think United should be at a time now in football, especially with Ineos coming in and just this new structure. They need to assess situations and cut ties when it's the best time to cut ties. I know it's very, very harsh. Like, honestly, I know it's very, very harsh. But I just, is it harsh for me to say that United might not have use for him? The fact that they're already looking for a new left back. I think the left back that they're looking for is to replace Tyrell Malacia. It's not to replace Luke Shaw. It's probably to eventually be the starting left back as well. But I think they are thinking Tyrell Malacia is probably not anywhere close of coming back into first team regular football. I actually said that I think he will probably start getting match fit probably like in the second half of the season. Because apparently it was reported as well in the article by The Athletic yesterday about the players that were not going away to the pre-season in America, that Tyrell Malacia has had like a little mishap or something, a little hiccup in his return to kind of get into match fitness. He's training individually by himself. He's got an individual program going on right now. And I just think, I don't know, man. You lot are saying it's harsh, but we haven't seen enough of Malacia. I get that we haven't seen enough of Malacia, but are we really gonna be in the kind of situation where we're just continuously waiting for someone to show us that potential that they have? Like, fans complain about the same thing to do with Luke Shaw. Of course, Luke Shaw's time is a lot longer. He's been here for 10 years, but I just think if there is no certainty that, and I remember I was actually speaking about this with Nuruddin. Shout out to Nuruddin. If you guys know, you know who Nuruddin is. We were talking about this on stream on the Straight Jacket podcast one day, and Nuruddin was saying that he's hearing that his Tyrell Malacia's situation is a lot worse than what we're aware of, and he actually possibly can never play football again. Now, of course, that's just speculation and it's just rumors. But if it's that bad, and United are already looking at other left backs, I think the proof is in the pudding. I think that's the right saying. The proof is in the pudding. The answer is in front of us, guys. There is a problem at that left back side, and Manchester United is very obvious to them that they need to bring in a new player, because they either don't trust the 2 left backs that they have to be fit consistently, or they don't trust them just in general. I'm gonna put him in tier 3. You know what? Because you lot are all saying I'm being harsh, I'll put him in tier 3 because I listen to the chat. And last but not least is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the one fullback out of these fullbacks who is actually on the market to be sold. You see the difference between the other 3? Man United are not looking to sell them. There's been nothing about Luke Shaw. There's been nothing about Malacia. There's been nothing about Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot even got a new contract 2 seasons ago. Wan-Bissaka is the only one that Manchester United are actively looking to sell. So for that reason, I would have put him at tier 4. However, I think he has use. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka could still have use at Manchester United. It's just the fact that his one-dimensionalness is something that Manchester United don't want. And it's unfortunate. But it's like, I feel like this is similar to the De Gea situation. I feel like this is, and I'm not saying Wan-Bissaka is the same as De Gea. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the situation is the same. The player can do the fundamentals properly, but people feel like football has evolved from those minimal fundamentals that you could do. David De Gea could do the shot stopping. He could do that element of goalkeeping properly. But when you want him to be a sweeper keeper, you want him to be good with the ball at his feet, you want him to come out and claim crosses, etc., be quick off his line, he wasn't good at that. Aaron Wan-Bissaka can do the defensive stuff well. Some of it he might have mishaps in, like I would say set pieces. I don't think his positioning is good at set pieces, but his 1v1 defending, when it's just him and he just has to lock onto one player, he can do that well. And he does it probably to the best of any fullback. But then he's got the shortcomings of a fullback. He's got the shortcomings of getting forward, putting a good ball in, etc., etc. But I personally have said this time and time again, I would keep Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I have said this time and time again that I would keep Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you are doing well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka contract ends next year. I think Ineos want to cash in, which I get. Yeah, so it was reported today, obviously, with the news about Mazraoui, with West Ham agreeing with Bayern Munich for a move with Nazir Mazraoui. It was also reported that Wan-Bissaka turned down a move to West Ham. He doesn't want to go to West Ham. He doesn't want to go to another London team. He prefers to go to Inter Milan if he's going anywhere. I guess if he goes to Inter Milan, they are kind of contesting for the league there. They're contesting for the league there. They could have a deep Champions League run. 2 years ago, they got to the final. So he's probably thinking, I have more of a chance winning silverware if I go to Inter Milan than if I was to go to West Ham, which I understand that. At West Ham, I think he would be a starter for West Ham because I think West Ham, actually, they just lost their most recent right back. But like I said, for that reason, I would have kept Wan-Bissaka. But Rowena's right. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's contract is finished. Why are you not saying L in the chat? You lot don't agree with me. But his contract is ending in the summer. And it's one of them ones where it's either that or he leaves on a free. It's either that or he leaves on a free. I'm going to put him tier 2. I don't know if he's tier 2 because the fact that he's not going to stay kind of shows he's not a tier 2. The fact that Man United are looking to move him on says that he's not tier 2. Now I'm not, by the way, guys, let me just go back to when we started this tier list, yeah? Let's go back to when I started the tier list. I said to you guys, we're doing this tier list not based on the ability on the player, but about who would be the best fit for Manchester United as a starting fullback. That's what this is all based on. This tier list is not based on, because if I'm sitting here talking about Wan-Bissaka or just I'm talking about the fullbacks as defenders, Wan-Bissaka goes to number 1. Wan-Bissaka goes to number 1. If I'm talking about him as a fullback, as a defender, he's going to number 1 because he's the best defender out of the 4 of them. But that is not the case. We're talking about, you know, how they fit into Manchester United and if they would be the starter, what level that would put them on. We have spent over 300 million on wingers and we expect our fullbacks to be the ones running down the lines and putting in crosses. Do you guys feel like this is because football has evolved? Like football has evolved where now I was speaking to one of my friends who's a a football scout. They're a football scout for a big club, and they were talking about what they scout for. So they scout in the south east of the UK, which is obviously like London sides, etc. And they were talking about how it's changed what they look for in a player when they're scouting players. So they don't look for a striker. Some scouts look for a striker that can just put the ball in the back of the net, but other scouts look for the overall gameplay of a striker. So I think it's the same with defenders. They need to be able to do, like, defenders nowadays, you have to be good on the ball. You have, back in the day, guys, a defender's job was to defend. A goalkeeper's job was to goalkeep or protect the goal. You know what I mean? The football has changed, I think, in the element of, in terms of what weaknesses players can have. That's how I feel. That's how I feel it's becoming. And you look at it because we got this inverted nonsense. Bro, I never grew up watching football and there was inverted fullbacks. It wasn't really a thing. The thought of seeing Gary Neville playing as an inverted fullback, the thought of it makes me laugh. Let me see what you lot are saying in the chat. But what if the system requires a different fullback? A Ten Hag system requires a much more attacking fullback than Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Exactly. That's why I feel like Man United are selling Wan-Bissaka and that they're looking for fullbacks that are good getting forward, because the system that Erik Ten Hag has, and historically the system that he's had, you know, when he was at Ajax, he had fullbacks that could get forward. He had Nazir Mazraoui at right back, and I can't remember. Shit, I forgot his the name of the left back that he had. Let me see. I forgot. I literally was looking at the team the other day. Let me see the left back that he had. He had Tagliafico at left back. So he had fullbacks that could get forward. Tagliafico, yeah, he had Tagliafico getting forward. So, you know, those are players that might, you know, defensively have 1 or 2 attributes that they lack, but they can get forward. And I think, and this is my question to you lot before we move on to ranking the left backs that Man United have been linked to, yeah? This is my question to you guys. Would you rather a fullback like Aaron Wan-Bissaka that is good defensively but has their shortcomings going forward? Or would you like a fullback that is phenomenal getting forward, like Trent Alexander levels, yeah? Can get forward and get 10, 15 assists per season, but defensively they're a liability. What would you prefer? Because I feel like if you've got a good DM and you've got a good right-sided centre back, I think they could cover that blade of grass for the fullback. I think they can. I think that they could make up for what they lack. I think that they could definitely make up for that if you've got the right DM and you've got a phenomenal right-sided centre back. If you've got an amazing partnership in centre back, yeah, and you've got a DM in front that can just literally switch over to the right-hand side when said player is getting forward, I think it could work. I think it could work, and that's why I agree with what Ridwan said. It's all about what you look for in your system. If the player fits the system, and if the player doesn't, then it's unfortunate. Like I find it annoying when people talk about Bissaka, for example, and they talk about him, how he gets forward and how he looks awkward and blah blah. I don't think you should judge a player based on how they look when they're on the ball. Like, he does look awkward, but that's not what you should judge him on. That's not what I think anyway. Fullback like Trent, because you need to play on the halfway line. Especially this, I agree with, because especially with Erik ten Hag wanting to be, he wants to have the line higher up. He wants, the gap between the midfield and the defense to be a lot less. He wants the goalkeeper to be able to be a sweeper keeper. I kind of get that. Only if the team can play possession-based football. If you can't control possession, it doesn't work. And that is another thing. That is definitely another thing as well. That's another element of building a system. An attacking fullback, 100. Joe says, I prefer a good defensive player who can cross well. I think you're getting one or the other. I think you're getting one or the other. But let's rank. Let's start with ranking the right backs that Manchester United have been linked to of recent. Yeah, we're going to start with the right backs that Manchester United have been linked to. We've got Denzel Dumfries. We've got Nazir Mazraoui. Now, he's in this, but as it stands right now, he's probably going to West Ham. And we've got Jeremy Frimpong. To me, can I just say, Jeremy Frimpong is not a right back. He's not a right back. Anybody that says United should buy Jeremy Frimpong, unless it's to replace the right winger, Jeremy Frimpong to me is not a right back. And you look at the fact that he barely plays for the Netherlands. He couldn't even get in over Steven Bergwijn. He couldn't even get in. Steven Bergwijn got hooked at halftime. I can't remember what game it was. I think it was against Turkey. He got hooked at halftime for Wout Weghorst because Bergwijn was stinking up the pitch. I didn't see him again playing for the Netherlands. But Frimpong can't even get in ahead of him. Obviously, I just think Ronald Koeman is probably not a fan of Frimpong, because when I've watched Frimpong at Bayer Leverkusen, he's been good. Frimpong release clause was cheap and no one bidded for him. That's true. But listen, let's start with, obviously, Nazir Mazraoui is probably going to West Ham, but I would put him tier 2. I would put him in tier 2 if Manchester United were to get him. Let me know where you lot would put him. And it's the only reason why I'm saying I would put him in tier 2 is because of his injury history. That's the only reason why I'm putting him at tier 2. Because if Luke Shaw is in tier 2 as well, and one part of the reason why I've put him there is because of his inability to stay fit, then another reason why I'm putting him there, I'm putting Nazir Mazraoui there, is because of his injury record. Mina, would you like Hakimi? I would love Hakimi, but that will never happen. PSG will never ever sell. I would not be surprised if PSG actually got rid of Hakimi eventually. I was going to say PSG would never sell him, but I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually got rid of him. I wanted United 2 seasons ago to buy Mukiele, and then PSG brought him and just ruined him. They brought him for no reason, and they just ruined him. Dumfries is such a balanced player. I feel he would be a trustworthy player. Where do you think, guys, we are putting Denzel Dumfries? Because I'm not going to lie, I don't know who would be the starter between. I'm going to just hover over tier 1 for now, right? But I don't know who would be the starter between him and Diogo Dalot. Now, if Manchester United brought Denzel Dumfries and they brought Hanko from Feyenoord, right? Could that be a shift into a back 3 with wing backs? I don't know. You lot are saying tier 1, tier 2. Abe's world is so harsh. Ainsworth is so harsh. Tier 3. I wouldn't say he's tier 3. I wouldn't say tier 3. He's better defensively than Dalot. Who do you think would start, Denzel Dumfries or Diogo Dalot? And they both got D. Both of them have their names starting with D. This is the thing. People are saying, this is what I like about the chat, because obviously people don't always agree with each other. Because some of you are saying Dalot, some of you have said Dumfries. I think Diogo Dalot will be the starting right back. I think Diogo Dalot should be the starting right back because I think he's earned it. I also think he's earned it after last season. I think the best thing you can do, like Marcus Rashford was awarded a new contract just because of the season that he had, right? I think players should be awarded with the opportunity to start in their role if they've had a magnificent season. Kobbie Mainoo, for example, Diogo Dalot, for example, they should have that opportunity. So I would say for that reason, I see Diogo Dalot being the starting right back. Now, the good thing is, if Manchester United do sign a right back and they don't sign a left back, Diogo Dalot can play left back. That's the flexibility that you have with Diogo Dalot, is that he can play left back, which is good. Last but not least, Jeremy Frimpong. Now, I would have said tier 4. I would have said tier 4. And the sole reason I'm saying tier 4, guys, it's not because I don't think Frimpong is a good player. I do not think he's a right back. So I have to put him tier 4. If Man United brought him with the sole purpose of playing him as a right back, I would have question marks everywhere because I don't think it makes any sense. I do not think Frimpong is a right back. Frimpong is a tier 1 easily as a right wing back. As a right wing back, yes, but Manchester United, do you think Man United are going to be playing a back 5? Do you genuinely think Man United are we going to really revert back to the days of Louis van Gaal? Are we really going to revert back to the days of Louis van Gaal? Now, I've put him tier 4 solely because I don't think he's a right back. And being linked to Manchester United as a potential right back option for me just does not make any sense. That does not make any sense. If we played a back 5, I'd have Frimpong as tier 1. 100%, I would have him as tier 1. I would definitely have him as tier 1. You lot are saying tier 3. Fair enough. No, but tier 3, I can't put him at tier 3 because tier 3 is suggesting that, I'm saying Wan-Bissaka has his strengths to be a right back for Man United defensively, but he's got other shortcomings going forward. Frimpong is not a right back. So for me, the logic of being linked to him doesn't make sense. Now, obviously, when we finish, we're gonna revisit this. Next up, Marcos Alonso. Now, these are Marcos Alonso, these are the left backs that Manchester United have been linked to. These are the left backs that Manchester United have been linked to. Marcos Alonso, for me, goes right to tier 4. And you know what? Just for that, I'm going to put Frimpong in tier 3. I'm going to put, because it's actually unfair for me to put Frimpong and Alonso in the same position. That's actually unfair. Even though I'm saying that Frimpong is not a right back, it's very, very unfair for me to put Marcos flipping Alonso. Wallahi, guys, I'm not joking. I think I will actually stop streaming for a month if Man United sign Marcos Alonso. I might actually just stop doing content for an entire month. I'm not kidding. So you lot better hope that don't happen. But for me, yeah. Someone said tier 5. I should make a new tier just for Marcos Alonso. Call it the Alonso tier. Next up, Ferdi Kadioglu. Ferdi Kadioglu, the Turkish left back with a history linked to the Netherlands. Let's see how many of these guys actually have a history linked to the Netherlands. Quite a few of them, funnily enough. But Ferdi Kadioglu, 30 million price tag, but can play across so many. He can play as a left back, left wing back. He can play as a left mid, I think. Apparently, he can play central midfield. He can play across multiple different positions. From what I've seen of him in the Euros, and that is just me solely talking about competition football, I've been impressed. I've been impressed with him. The price tag, I don't know if Man United are going to pay that because 30 million for a fullback from Turkey obviously is quite pricey. I'm going to put him at tier 2. I'm going to put him at tier 2. I think he would comfortably fit in to Manchester United. I think if he came in as a left back, he would absolutely comfortably fit in. You lot are saying tier 1. Abe's World says tier 2. Yusuf says tier 2 from the Euros. Tier 1 Thursday nights with Ferdy. That would be a sick name. Yeah, I think he would be a good choice. DJ says Sam Murray and Harry must have good chances of convincing the manager since they are the only left back on the tour. At least one of them will get a chance this season. Minna, I agree. I think one of the two of them will definitely get a chance. A part of me does kind of lean a bit more to Harry Amas, just because he's been kind of in and around the first team for some time now and has that experience around the first team, although he hasn't played like consistently. Sam Murray, for me, when I watched him against Rangers, was good. I was really impressed with him. I was like, who is this youngster? So I would like one of them to definitely come through. I would like one of them to definitely come through into the first team. Maybe not as like a consistent starter, but maybe more as like someone a rotational option. Next up, Tyreek Mitchell. Listen, when I talk about players that got the dog in them. When I talk about players that have the dog in them, I'm talking about players like Tyreek Mitchell. Yeah, trenches. He's from the trenches, yeah, and you can see it in the way that he plays. Now, obviously, in a system, maybe like the system that Eric Ten Hag is going to build or is building this season, and I hope that there is a system in place. I don't know if he would be the kind of fullback that is going to take United to like the golden stage. Maybe for a year or two, he could definitely be an option. But I don't see him. Now, again, this is maybe me being just a bit harsh, but leaving Crystal Palace to come to Manchester United, if you're not guaranteed to be a starter, but then again, you might have a better chance winning silverware at United than you would at Crystal Palace. Now, I have told you lot, yeah, I promise you. Now, when did the news come out? It was yesterday, I think it was. I think the news came out yesterday from the Mirror that said that Manchester United have looked at Tyreek Mitchell, who could be landed on a cheaper value, given he only has 1 year left on his deal. I know his agent, guys. I know his agent. He's from Ends. I used to work for his agent when I was a football coach. And I used to be a football coach, guys. I used to work for his agent. I still see his agent around here and there. We are family friends. Our family know each other. I will actually call him the day that I actually see a legit link that Manchester United are in talks with Palace to sign him. I will call him on stream and be like, please give me a preview. But I do have my question marks about Tyreek Mitchell. I definitely do have my question marks about Tyreek Mitchell. I do feel like Manchester United could go for someone that is a lot better getting forward. And that's why I think of the likes of Kadioglu or even with Hanko. The thing is with Hanko, I just don't know if United need another left back that can play centre back. Sign a Calafiori type. Now, listen, you lot know when the Here We Go was announced I think it was last week about Bologna and Arsenal agreeing terms for Calafiori. I dropped to my knees and cried. I was so upset. I really wish United could get Calafiori, but obviously he's going to end up at Arsenal. I don't get it because Arteta is just buying defenders. Like, he's just trying to collect all the defenders and just keep them at Arsenal. Is that what he's trying to do? I don't know. He's tier 2. I would put Tyreek Mitchell at tier 2. I would also put Tyreek Mitchell at tier 2. I think he is a good player. I think there's a player in there. It just depends on also the system that Eric Ten Hag is going to build. It just depends on the system. I wish I put Ait Nouri in here, but Ait Nouri isn't, hasn't really been linked to Manchester United. Let's see what Tyreek Mitchell's injury history is. Let's see. I don't think he has a long time injury record. I hate navigating this stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why is there nothing about injuries? Okay. Injury history. Let's look at his injury history. Brother. Guys, what the hell? United should be all over this. The guy hasn't missed a game to injury since 2021. That is the COVID year. He's been available every single game for the last, 3 seasons? For the last 3 seasons, he's been available every single game. That is a serious injury record, guys. That is serious. And when I say serious, I mean good. It's good. That is a good injury. This is the kind of stuff whenever, by the way, why is it whenever we talk about players linked to United, we always say, oh, look at their injury record. When we talk about Mazraoui, we're like, look at his injury record. Oh, when we talk about a midfielder, we're like, oh, look at his injury record. But United are linked to Tyreek Mitchell, and nobody is using his injury record as a positive as to why Manchester United should get him. This is a proper injury. Guys, look at this. He's missed in his entire career. He's missed 14 games since 2019. He's only missed 14 games. Some man missed 14 games in a season. And he's only missed 14 games in 5 years, or near enough to 5 years. I applaud him for that. That is a good injury record. If he comes to United, that injury record might not exist anymore because he might get injured. But for me, that reason, he should be in tier 2. He should be in tier 2 because that is a positive for Manchester United to go for him. And last but not least, man like Hanko from Feyenoord, another Dutch player or another player with a history towards the Netherlands. I'm going to put him tier 2. I'm going to put him tier 2 just because of also, I think, his flexibility of playing across different positions. United could utilize that. When the way that I see things doing is that, like, if Lisandro Martinez goes forward, he can come in centrally. If Diogo Dalot gets forward or plays inverted, he can shift in centrally and have build a back three. You know, like I said, for me, flexibility in the positions that you can play is a positive. That's why I put Nazir Mazraoui in tier 2, because he can play right back and left back. He can even play central midfield if he has to. That's why I put Ferdi Kadioglu there, because again, he can play across different positions. That is a positive when it comes to signing a player. Morgan says Hanko is tier 1 centre back and tier 2 left back. I guess it's because United are looking at him as a left back, so I have to rate him based on playing as a fullback. Mitchell would be a great squad player, but we need to find the next Shaw minus the injuries. Looking forward to watching a mass in pre-season. When is our first pre-season game? Is that on Saturday night going into Sunday? Let me double check. I hate when it's America tour because it's just the timings. It's like early hours. So it's the 27th of July. That is on Saturday. But is that Friday night going into Saturday, or is that Saturday night going into Sunday? Do you guys know? Is it Saturday night going into Sunday? I think. Let me check UK times. Where's the UK time? Stop showing me an American time. Stop showing me in American time. Do you still do FIFA streams? I will be back with FIFA streams, inshallah, God willing, when the new FIFA comes out. When the new FIFA comes out, I will be back with the FIFA streams. Right now, FIFA's kind of dead in it at this point. Okay, so it's that Saturday night going into Sunday. Yeah, it's Saturday night going into Sunday. Welcome to our world, waking up at 5 a.m. to watch United. You know what's so funny? I always see this conversation, this discourse online about who's the bigger, like, match day going fans versus fans that live across the world. I feel sorry for fans who travel far. I know people that travel far regularly to go and watch Man United, right? And I also feel bad for international fans, because imagine waking up to watch the nonsense that United were doing last season. That's not easy. That is not easy. Imagine staying up. I know people that live in like Far East Asia, Australia, the Middle East, etc. When it was Champions League, they were staying up till 1, 2 o'clock. It was a joke. I felt so sorry for them. But anyways, guys, this is the complete tier list. Let's zoom in a little bit. For the complete tier list that we've put together so far in terms of ranking the Manchester United fullbacks that they have currently and the ones that they've been linked to. The ones that they've have already and the ones that they've been linked to. Marcus Alonso, for me, he sits in that tier by himself. We might as well call it a tier Alonso tier, because that is solely his tier. He should never be allowed to leave that tier. Tier 3. Now, I feel like I'm being a bit harsh on Frimpong. I can't lie, guys, because I'm judging him as a right back. And correct me, do you feel like that is what I should do, or should I judge him as a player? Because if I judge him as a player, He's definitely more advanced than tier 3, but I'm judging him right now solely as a right back, as Manchester United bringing him in as a right back. But putting him in the same tier as Malacia and Wan-Bissaka is a bit harsh. I definitely feel like that's a bit harsh. And am I being too nice, guys, and putting 6 players in tier 2? That basically means that I'm suggesting that any of these players United sign, I would be happy with it. I don't think that would be too bad. I genuinely don't think. I think United do definitely need to improve on Luke Shaw. I don't think Luke Shaw can be the starter this year just because I just feel like his body will not allow him to be the starter and his body will break down on him. I think Nazir Mazraoui, if he was not going to West Ham, he would be a very good option for Manchester United, especially at the price tag, guys. Especially at the price tag. He's going for £13 million. He is going for £13 million. That is a very, very cheap price tag that you can get for a starting fullback. Denzel Dumfries, the player that Manchester United has been linked to, I don't even know how many times United have been linked to him. That's another player as well. And then Ferdi Kadioglu, Tyreek Mitchell, and Hanko. I think that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable. We're going to keep an eye out on the news surrounding Manchester United and the hunt for their fullbacks. But just a little quick update. Reported this morning by Simon Jones at the Daily Mail, Jared Brantwaite has no intention of signing a new contract at Everton unless they match the 160 a week being offered by Manchester United. Now, if you lot remember, the current situation for Jared Brantwaite is Everton do not want any more bids from Manchester United. They don't want anything from Man United unless it's that 75 million bid. Man United's last bid was 50 million. They're not going to go past that. I don't think Jared Brantwaite is going to get that 160. I can't lie. I don't think he's getting that. Let's look at Everton's highest earners. I think like Ashley Young might be their highest earner, you know, Everton salaries. I don't think they pay money like that. Let's look at their payroll this year. This is their payroll table for Everton. Let's see who is their highest. Look at, bro, they don't pay man like that. He wants to be their highest earner. Abdoulaye Doucouré earns the most there, 130k a week. Jordan Pickford then 125k, and then Calvert-Lewin 100k, Tarkowski 100k. Who's the lowest earner? Who's the lowest earner there? Dwight McNeil is only on 25k. James Garner 30k. Jared Brantwaite's on £35,000. He's asking for like a quadruple increase in his salary. He's asking for 30. No wonder he wants to come to Manchester United, guys. No wonder he wants to come to Manchester United. He's earning 35k a week, and he wants to be their highest earner after Abdoulaye Doucouré is their highest earner. They don't break the bank clearly for players. And I'm interested, by the way. I'm interested to know if you think Everton will actually give that to him, because don't you think that will set a bad precedent? That will set a bad if you have a salary cap like for players, and a team like Everton who could end up in a financial crisis, can they afford to pay him 160k a week? That is nearly what 160k a week is about. It's about 7 million a year. It's about 7 million a year. No wonder he was pushing for that move to United. That makes a lot of sense, guys. That makes a lot of sense. And last but not least, just some information coming straight from a Tunisian reporter. Listen, I trust if you're reporting on a player and they're the same nationality as you, that means you got links. And I trust the source. Hannibal Mejbri is reportedly in advanced talks to join Rangers on loan. I don't think a loan move is the best thing for him personally. I think if United don't have a plan for him, if United do not see him within the first team, just sell him. It's very evident that there isn't a plan for him. There isn't really a future for him. Just sell him. And I really thought United were going to get a good player out of Hannibal Mejbri. I was really disappointed with his loan spell 2 seasons ago. The year that Ahmad went to Sunderland, he went to Birmingham City, and I was just so disappointed. Like, he had inconsistent performances, and that's when I kind of knew that Man United wasn't gonna have any chances at Manchester United, especially in the area that he plays as well. You have to be able to dethrone a player like, he plays in the 10, he could play as an 8, as a box to box. With that pathway for Kobbie Mainoo kind of confirmed that he was coming to the first team, he's not going to replace Bruno Fernandes in the 10. If there's anyone that's replacing Bruno, if there's substitutions from Erik ten Hag, it's more likely would have been Mason Mount if he was on the bench. Hannibal Mejbri was bottom in that pecking order. It's time for United to just sell him, get 6 million for him. I think they should be able to sell him for like 10-15 because he's a young product. He still can be morphed into the sort of system that you want him to play in. But one thing that always lets him down, right? One thing that lets Hannibal down a lot, I feel like, is his temperament. I feel like his temperament always lets him down. I don't know if you guys think I'm being harsh. I don't know if you lot feel like you might agree, but sometimes you see his frustration. Frustration gets to him so easily in a game. And as a player, you need to be a bit more professional, a bit more composed. When he was on loan at Birmingham, I remember he was like one of the most booked players for Birmingham City because he would just fly into tackles, get a warning, and then 2 seconds later fly into another tackle and get booked. It's his temperament that lets him down. And you see it as well when he plays for Tunisia. You see it as well. Tunisia is not like Morocco, I would say, where they have a lot of talent. Tunisia do have talent, but even he can't break into the first team with Tunisia. He can't even break in. I remember there was a midfielder for Tunisia that really impressed me during the World Cup and AFCON. Bald-headed guy, looked a bit like Amrabat. But he can't break into the first team. He can't break into the first team. And I think that, United should definitely look to move him on if there is no future. And last but not least, guys, Manchester United's second kit dropped today. What do you lot think of it? Because I got some mixed thoughts about it. I love a blue kit, guys, can I say? I love, if you lot know, my favorite Man United kit is the 2008 AIG blue kit. That is my favorite kit of Manchester, or one of my favorite kits. This kit is very interesting to me because it's half a collar. I don't know if you lot realize it. You've got a collar at the front, but you don't have a collar at the back here. I love the patterns. Yeah, here you go. I love the pattern. I like the patterns too. I love long sleeve shirts. Bring back long sleeve football shirts. I like the long sleeve on the kit. I like the kit. I really like it. I really like it. I really like it. Blue Man City. Nah, Man United historically have had blue kits, guys. They've had blue kits historically. And it's always the darker shades of blue. It's not really like a light blue. It's not like a baby blue kit. I like this. Adidas, if you're watching this, please send it to me. Please send it to me. You sent me the home kit. Send me this one. Now, the away kit is yet to be announced. I think the away kit won't be announced for another couple weeks. I didn't know how I felt about that Snapdragon logo, but it's kind of grown on me a little bit. Like maybe because the kit as an overall has grown on me. I've always been critical of Adidas because I always felt like they made nice kits for people like Real Madrid, etc. And they didn't make nice kits for United. But I like it. I like it. I remember I was speaking to my friend who works at Nike, and she's part of the team that does the kits for clubs. I didn't know this, guys, but I found out that they actually finalize a kit 3 seasons in advance, or 2 or 3 seasons in advance. So last season, my friend was telling me that they were already working on completing the 25-26 kits. That's next season's kits. They were already finalizing that. And obviously they sign NDAs and all of that stuff, and things end up getting leaked, etc. But I really hope Adidas continue on this trajectory where they keep making nice kits for United. Because so far, I'm going to be so honest, I think it's 2 out of 2. I think Adidas have done a 2 out of 2 so far for Manchester United's kits this season. And this is coming from the flipping highlighter kit that we had a couple of seasons ago, the zebra kit that we had not that long ago, last season's kits that I didn't really get any. I didn't get any of them because I didn't like them. But I like this blue one. I like the home one, the red one. I hope the third kit is a nice one. If it's what is being leaked around right now, I don't really like that because it's got the flag. It's got like the colors here, like it's a flag looking like the flag of Yemen, etc. But I had to speak about this because they dropped the kit obviously today, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. I like it. Big up to everyone listening, guys. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. Let me know what you lot are up to for the rest of the evening. What is the day today? It's Thursday. It's Thursday. The sun is not shining. So I'm not really doing much. Gonna just do some content plans for the rest of the next couple of days. If there is any news between now and tomorrow, you lot know I will be live as well. If we get a here we go, I don't think we will. I know I lied to you lot and I said that United were going to do a here we go for a player over the weekend. I predicted it. It wasn't the case. But if we do have a here we go between now and tomorrow, I will be live to talk about it all. I'm not too sure if we will get one, because it's pre-season game on Saturday, so all heads might be turned there, but I will definitely do that. If you are watching this back, be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe. Let me know what you think about the tier ranking that we did live on stream for all the fullbacks that Manchester United are linked to. Listen guys, be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe. If you want to join the Minions gang, the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content. I was meant to do a member only live stream yesterday, but we're doing it tomorrow instead because it's Friday night. So I thought it might be a better idea to do it on Friday night. So if you want to join that member only live stream, you must be a member. Good luck to Splash Skip, who says I got a test tomorrow. Pray for me, guys. Good luck. I hope you smash it. We expect you to get 100%, not 99, not 98. 100%. If you want to join the membership gang, like I said, guys, you can. Be sure to follow me on all platforms right here: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, all of that kind of stuff. Make sure you follow me to get your updates, to get all the different kind of content that I post. And I do post, like I said. Be sure to check it out. I will be back, like I said, tomorrow. So make sure you lot turn on your post notifications, so when I go live, you guys will get notified. It's as simple as that. You don't want to miss it. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Man United, man. Come on, man. Make some signings. Make a signing, man. Come on. I'm out, guys. Peace.